Well, it's definitely earned me more money. Just like Decatur, they were paying 70 cents more for summer corn there in August. We were hauling corn 100 mile for 40 cents, and we're making 30 cents, and I wouldn't even known that price was probably on there. I wouldn't have thought of calling Decatur, but when you go to the Grower's Edge page, then it takes all that running around out of it for you.
Good afternoon, welcome to GrainTV. My name is Cody Bills. Today is February 3rd and we had the markets moving sharply higher here. Let's turn over to the Grain Hedge trading platform, see where we closed off the day. Corn trading up 15 3/4 cents, soybeans up 25.5 cents, and wheat in Chicago trading up 19 3/4 cents. Now the obvious question is, why did we move higher here today? Why did we move higher? We certainly didn't have a shift in fundamental news. I think a lot of this has to do with a large-scale macro move. We had some talks about Greece, less concerns out of Greece. We had talks about the central bank in Australia cutting their rates, and we had, of course, the U.S. dollar shifting lower. But the bottom line here is everything seemed to be moving higher. We had equities move sharply higher, crude oil move sharply higher, corn, soybeans, wheat, all moving sharply higher here. I think this is a macro move. I do not believe that this is a shift in fundamentals. So from my perspective, the way I would view this move here, if I was a producer, is an opportunity. This is a gift. This is an opportunity for you to get more vigilant, get caught up on sales if you had sales you wanted to make. So if you were just a couple days ago, if you were scratching your head thinking, boy, I wish I made some sales, I think this is an opportunity here with prices back up to where we were, almost erasing the last 4 days of losses here. So the bottom line, I would look, if you don't have access to live quotes, I think it's probably a good idea to try and get access to live quotes. Keep an eye out, maybe shop around for some options, protect that downside. If you need to, try and forward contract some grain. You don't want to be overly aggressive, but you don't want to be in a situation where these gains in the futures market that we had today slip through your fingers over the next couple weeks. Now, I'm not saying that we're going to turn right around, we're going to go lower, and we'll never come back up for air, but in a bearish market, we do get pops like these, and these pops are sometimes very difficult to explain. But the bottom line is the pops in these bearish markets, when we have these downtrends where you have lower lows and lower highs, which is really what we are in the grains, are to be used. These pops really are to be used as opportunities to price some grain. So if you haven't done so, I think it would be worthwhile reviewing that marketing strategy, catching up on sales if you were behind, and overall just kind of looking at options and see what you have out there where you can protect your downside risk. Of course, tomorrow we're going to have the ethanol sales report, or ethanol production report. That's going to come out. Of course, the last 3 weeks we've been really very strong ethanol production, well over last year's. But I think there's a likelihood that in the coming weeks we're going to start to see production start to tail off. Just today we had Archer Daniels Midland saying that ethanol producers will most likely have to cut production and output here due to the fact that we have very high stocks during this time of the year and demand is starting to stagnate. So this is ADM saying this. I certainly think that they have a lot of weight in this market, and it's likely that we start to see ethanol production start to get curbed. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a little bit of a decline in production in next week's output. It's announced here on Wednesday. Let's also talk a little bit about Informa numbers. They came out. They had South American estimates here. Argentina corn was adjusted up 1 million metric tons to 23 million metric tons. Soybean output estimated between 57 million. That's out of Argentina. That's up 1 million metric tons. Brazilian soy output, they kept at 93.5 million metric tons. That's unchanged. And corn, that was up as well to 72.8 million metric tons. So the bottom line here is we did have a little bit of a revision. These revisions are higher except for Brazilian soybeans, most likely as a result of that northern region, which has really been very dry. I think there's been a lot of talk about that region possibly and the crop damage in that region really bringing down production overall in Brazil, and not necessarily hurting production significantly, but really taking off that opportunity for production to be revised higher here. And so I think there looks as though there's going to be some rains, but I don't think that that's going to have a significant impact on the yields here going forward. Now, if you guys have any questions about what we talked about today, give us a call. The number is 877-472-4607. Again, today's price action is it was very sharp, it was very directional, and it involved more than just the grains. So from that perspective, I really think that this is one of those situations where, when the water rises, everything kind of floats to the top here. Everything moves higher. I think we want to be very careful here that we don't perceive this necessarily as some sort of fundamental switch for the grains. I think these are opportunities, and producers need to be using them to price out some of their grain. Thanks a lot for tuning in. If you have any questions, again, our number is 877-472-4607. I welcome any calls, and of course, if you'd like a demo of our trading platform to view the live quotes, get them on your phone, get them on your desktop platform. I'd be happy to set you up with that as well. Thanks a lot for tuning in. We'll see you here Wednesday for the Ethanol Production Report.